It's been a while since the last time I felt inadequate, but the teenage hormones are at it again against the Stoic philosophy, so I gotta hit you with another video. Another self therapy video, as I like to call it. We do feel inadequate a lot of the time, don't we? We do feel like we don't have the perfect body, the perfect philosophy, that we don't know enough things about the world. But that's only when we don't compare ourselves to others or when we don't look at the grand scheme of things. You could be looking at yourself at any moment in the day and saying, yeah, you're absolutely ugly, you're worthless, your philosophy is absolutely decrepit, whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, you do know that this version of yourself is going to be the one that improves you to be the thing that you want to be. In the future, when you will be muscular, when you will have the perfect philosophy, or in the brief moments when you will feel that you actually have those things, you will be grateful, or at least you should be grateful for your past self actually doing those things and that got you to this state. So, ultimately speaking, this is the most virtuous part, isn't it? That you'll ever live. The hardest challenge that you will ever have to go through. In my opinion, the hardest thing in the adventure of self improvement is starting. Actually improving the very first things. So, the most virtuous things that you have ever done were were done by your worst self. Isn't that kind of funny? So you should ultimately always be grateful. You should always be grateful because of that decrepit little punk that got you here. Isn't that absolutely hilarious? But that also means that you're in this moment doing the hardest thing that you would ever have to do in order to improve yourself, because it gets easier and easier and easier and easier. One of my favorite analogies of all time is Alex Hormozzi's analogy of starting a business and how it feels. It's like pulling a string, and it gets and at the start it's extremely painful, but you pull and pull and pull, and then it's neutral, and then it gets a little bit sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. That's absolutely fantastic. I love that guy. He's an absolute genius when it comes to these analogies and self-improvement business in general. So, a lot of what he says is true. I'll slow down the pace. You should be grateful for who you are now. No matter how inadequate you feel, no matter how good you feel others are in comparison to you, no matter how skinny you think you are, no matter how bad at relationships you think you are, no matter how full of acne your face is, you should always be grateful. Because probably in 10 years, when you will look back at this moment, hopefully, as a better person, whatever that means to you, maybe, but most probably, you will feel some nostalgia. I feel a lot of nostalgia a year ago when I got pretty serious about improving myself, because it was all so hopeful. I had ambitions to clean up my diet, to start exercising. I was meditating. I don't meditate anymore. I don't know why. I would like to start again, but whatever. It was also hopeful. It all felt so easy. It was beginner's luck. It was basically God telling me, yeah, you can do this and it's not that hard. That's amazing. What makes you think that your future self is not going to be as grateful for that, is not going to be as grateful for this moment as for that? Because I do know that during those times I wasn't as happy as I am now, but I still am grateful for that. And yeah, if life was perfect, we would get happier and happier and happier and happier. Why do we want why do people who have good relationships with their parents and family want a girlfriend? Yeah, it's there are two different types of love. But ultimately, you are extremely happy with your mother, with your father, with your brothers and sisters, your cousins and uncles, you're happy. You don't need anything more, but you strive to get something more. And that's what life is. Always striving to have more. That's basically whatever goal you want to actually set out for, whatever your life's purpose, it's always going to be more and more and more. Yeah, of course. It's kind of a paradox because being happy ultimately means not wanting more and being fulfilled, but actually having a purpose in life drives you to want to do something new. It drives you to want to actually do more things and accumulate more, even though it's very obvious you have enough. So, no matter how inadequate you think you are, or you feel you are, just remember that even if you stayed like this forever, for all of eternity, it would be fine. Because you have everything that you need. Even if you don't see it now. Maybe this is the happiest moment of your life, who knows? In 20 years, you will know. But now, all you have is the present, and all you have is the eternal gratitude for it. And whether or not you want to use it, it's your choice. I'll see you later.